Hey everybody, I wanted to share an exciting update. Um, I've been really thinking a lot about like the meaning, like having a purpose-filled life, which means like a purpose-filled perspective and kind of like keeping that hope and faith and the meaning of life, the purpose. Jesus Christ, it's a lot, because it's like, what's the point? What's the meaning? And it's like we chase that, and we're either chasing like some inherited, like passed down, like a clunky gene, like expectations or definitions of what we should be doing and why we should be doing it and like what it all means in a more like philosophical sense, or we're kind of like chasing to fill in those gaps for ourselves, and that can be like an empty-handed, really depressing endeavor, or we like find the thing and do the things that we love, and it still feels just like empty in a different way. For me, it's like I feel like I felt so incredibly blessed, and it was like this truly like magical moment in life when I stumbled upon this passion. But after a while, it's like what to do with it, because that can also be stifling. And I really feel like I've kind of not ever calibrated or recalibrated or whatever from having this goal and this passion and working towards it, but also like not being kind of mentally and emotionally consumed by that goal and that standard, so it's like we either like inherit these standards or like we set the standards for ourselves, but it's like it's like just out of grasp, and that can be very depressing. And it's like, being it feels like you're racing the clock too. It just can be really like stressful. And I read The Power of Now, and I've talked about it, and I really try to like ingest that because it felt like the truth when I read it. It's like, yeah, that's it, but actually like approaching life from a place where we drop the expectations, even when it really seems like a North Star, like something we should be um, working towards, or like, okay, that's a direction, like to drop like expectations or whatever, and kind of like take yourself out of like this rat race so you're not like consumed by the rats, you know what I mean? Um, that's really difficult. It's easier said than done. And with everything going on with world events, that's another thing. So it's like goals and like our personal journey, right? That's a lot of question marks. But also with current affairs, I have been kind of like teetering in my mind, psyche, heart, and soul ever since really I got sober, of like how much to engage or invest emotionally in current affairs, because like the goals, you're either going to have this perspective on like world events that you inherited from your parents, or you're going to have your own perspective, but that's also going to be passed down, or it seems like a reaction, like, oh well, I passed down to be a Republican, so I'm going to be a Democrat. It's like one of those two things. Oh my God. Hello, here's the meaning of life. Like amazing pets, they're the best. They're just like so much more than pets. Like I swear, I feel like, and I'm a mom, but honestly, I feel like having a cat and a dog, they really do feel like my children. I used to think that was like silly to say, but it's so true. Pets are just everything. They like are so wise because they know how to live. They're not like in existential crisis and worry about all this bullshit. So anyway, I had these like political opinions and just kind of like commentary about everything. And some people just, they don't care. And that's, that's great. That would be lovely to like not be concerned. And that's what I've been working towards. And I've been trying to find that balance of like, okay, well, like the Mel Robbins thing, let them. And then Bill Maher's like, oh, well, so are you just going to like let Trump do what he's going to do because he's going to do it anyway? And Mel Robbins like, oh, of course not, blah, 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 blah. I didn't want to be Mel Robbins, man. I didn't want to be like that fucking say one thing, do another hypocrite about things that are entirely out of my hands. But then, the flip side of that is, what's the quote? For evil to prevail, all it takes is like for good people to stay silent. I think that's it, like to paraphrase. So, but at the same time, it's easy, especially with social media and the internet, to be like so consumed with worry or caught up with the thing and the cause of the moment, to where you just like I just like lost myself in concern about the event, and then like lost myself in concern about my level of concern about the event. So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. And the Dodo, the channel on YouTube, the Dodo, was my true like little nightly ritual reprieve. It was my wind down, my palate cleanser. No matter what, no matter how down or chaotic or great the day was, I would watch the Dodo, 3 to 4 beautiful, heartwarming, uplifting animal rescue videos before bed. And then I'll do a sleep meditation with my earbuds in through the night. And that's like really worked for me. I noticed, I saw an alarming video, I don't know if it was like a year ago or what, some time ago, from the Dodo, and it was like, oh, this is why Trump's policy on the oceans is actually bad for the ocean. And, I made my little comment in the comment section, and I said, Dodo, please, this is my palate cleanser. I believe that was my exact wording. The Dodo is my palate cleanser. Please, I don't want to, please just pretend that politics, nothing else going on in life exists. Please exclusively stick to animal rescues. Please, if you see this comment, hear my hear my concerns. Please keep it solely to animal rescues as you have been. And then last week it was an animal rescue, great, with this rescue dog, beautiful, and the dog spoke Spanish, and he only responded as the owners or the foster parents or whatever of this dog found out, he was only responding to Spanish. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cute. And then they said at the end, well, oh God, what we're thinking is that his owners, or let's just even say they know for a fact, his owners have been displaced from those ICE bullies. So, that's why he speaks Spanish. I know, brokenhearted, right? And I was like, oh my God, really? Really? They could have easily just kept it on a rescue story about a dog that responds to Spanish, as he had clearly been taught by his previous owners, but they had incorporated ICE into it. Cat hair, my tongue. And then, oh my God, then the Dodo did it again. The third video from the Animal Rescue channel. And this one, I swear, it had something with ice in the title. I did not even watch it. But the ice was in the title. And I was like, son of a bitch. And it was about all the animals displaced from ice. And the point is that during this beautiful, not everything is about politics. And I commented, I didn't even watch the video, but I made a comment and I said, God damn you, Dodo. I begged y'all to keep it secular. Was that asking too much? Evidently, yes. Geo Beats it is. I think word for word my comment. And Geo Beats is a great channel. As of right now, I've never seen anything political. But the point is like, we have to be aware of like walking a fine line of what we are going to be consumed by. Consumed. Keep it secular. That was intentional. This is a religion, You're going to be, if and see, now then it has me thinking in the comments. I just Googled it, I knew Google wasn't going to be like swaying anything in favor of Trump. So I thought it would be a good question to ask Google. How many people did Obama deport? What do you know Obama deported like 3 million people, more than any other president, more than Trump. So what are y'all talking about for real? I heard Peter Dinklage went to like a protest and read a poem, and jokingly, like a satire, I said, "Oh, was it called Pretty Good?" and um and he said, "Oh my God, I think it was." I said, "No, I was joking." I still don't know if that's true, but and it's like, I swear to God, I think that if there had been a male or female named like whose last name was Martyr, I swear to God, they would have been coincidentally, whatever. And the fact that it's all this shit happens. So in that part of the region, just like George Floyd, just like this, just like that weird thing with the Somali daycare, all this stuff. And it's like, son of a bitch, I am trying to live. I am trying to not be consumed by my dreams. I'm trying to get published, to be a professional writer, and then I think, well, Hunter S. Thompson, he, was anti-war and had, was kind of like a political commentator, and he was a writer, and he got to be a lifelong drug addict, and he's celebrated for it. I've said that before. He had, in many ways, the true dream life, which was that he got to be a beloved writer, and his art lives forever. And he also got to be a celebrated addict. And in many ways, that's kind of ironic to say, but that is the dream. So it can be done. But for one, Hunter S. Thompson is a man, and that is a factor. I don't care what anybody says. It just is. And for two, the ultimate irony, the pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of something worth pursuing, the pursuit of distance from misery and the misery machine that is the zeitgeist. In the pursuit of happiness, I think it's important to keep in mind that Hunter S. Thompson, how did he die? The person who had, you could say on paper, like a dream life come true, because he was, a creative who monetized his creativity, was highly successful, true to himself throughout, and true icing on the cake. The icing, if it's chocolate, it's the best part. He was a celebrated addict, and he was like a, celebrated chaos addict. How did he die? Let's keep the bottom line. He died by his own fucking hand. Of course. My dad was the most decent is honorable person that I have ever known in my life. He was truthful. He had integrity. If he said it, it was the truth. If he said he was going to do it, it got done. You didn't even have to think twice about it. And how many people have I ever met in life who I could truly say that about? No one except for my dad. And how many people has anyone met, any of us met, who are truly honest, decent people of integrity? It was a rare trait. So my dad was the most decent person I know. He had incredible faith. He loved the Catholic faith. He grew up like real like hell, fire, and brimstone, that old school like Bible beating, Bible thumping in the front. But he converted to Catholicism, and he loved it because that's how my dad was. He was stoic. He was very like straight-laced, and that was a really good fit for him. So this person who had a lifetime of morality and decency and faith, you would think would be like these anchors and these pillars, and he knew himself in those ways. And when he died, he was terrified. He was scared he was going to go to hell. And it really just shook me to my core, because what's the point of having faith if you're not even going to have peace of mind that you haven't been good enough? Yeah, almost. Maybe next time. Just kidding. Eternal pits of hell for you. That's terrible. That's a terrible thought. And so I feel like we are all being led to the slaughter, and it's like church and state. The separation is the biggest joke in the world. That's like saying fucking separation of limbs and body. It's one entity, right? And it's like we're being taught to go with politics or go with, the church, and you're damned either way. We're in a fluster. We're in a frenzy. It's just constant chaos and stress. And so watch Geo Beats, watch some homesteading videos. This is what I did. Watch Chelsea May, the vegan who moved from New Zealand to Texas. That in itself, that's how we live, by doing what we want to do, being ourselves, but not even putting future expectations on it. Just being confident that, if we really try to just be, that we will be okay. I don't know. That's my 2 cents for the night. And here's Mazzy. So handsome. Y'all take it easy.